Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bed Talks. Want a cookie? I don't know what this cookie is, actually. I just got bored of eating Oreos, so I bought this one. Honestly, it's a very mediocre cookie. Would not recommend. Anyways, in today's episode, I'm going to show you guys this. Now, why does someone who sounds like he's just in high school has a Sega Genesis Mini? Well, simply put, I was a Sega fanboy in my younger days. This is like I guess I'm super old. And I want to talk about how it was felt like growing up, being a Sega fan, and in the United States when you're not in your, at best, early 40s. So let's go about the cookie in my mouth. That was not worth it for the joke. Oh well. So growing up, most kids, were either into PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. I mostly just had Nintendo systems growing up. Had an N64, GameCube, Wii U. Yes, I was one of the few people who had a Wii U. And yet, despite owning quite a few Mario games, I actually never really played that many. On the N64, I never really played Super Mario 64 or Mario Kart. I think I mostly just played Donkey Kong. And by play Donkey Kong, I mean I watched other people play Donkey Kong. Because I was terrible at video games back then. Who am I kidding? I'm still terrible at video games. So when I was I want to say 17, I started to get into the Sonic the Hedgehog series. It kind of started with the Archie comics while I was watching them online. And, at the time, Sega released Sonic Forces, and I'm also a military nerd, so seeing a military game with Sonic the Hedgehog really appealed to my stupid brain, so I bought Sonic Forces. And then, people oh, you should have bought Mania. I'm like, good thing, I did buy Mania. Weird thing is, I actually prefer Forces over Mania. Why? Because I'm an idiot. B, also, I not the super biggest fan of 2D platformers. It's more of a personal thing. Also, nostalgia for, Sonic Forces probably, really boosted the game. As coming up Sonic the Hedgehog fan, I ended up looking more into Sega as a company, and looked up a lot of amazing franchises. You got Yakuza, Total War, what else is there? Shenmue. They don't make Shenmue anymore. But the interesting is, the Sega's history was, super cool and appealing to me. So when I announced the Sega Genesis Mini, I'm like, yes! Can you do a Dreamcast Mini? I would prefer a Dreamcast Mini. No, you're not going to do that? Alright, I'll get a Genesis Mini. So I got the Genesis Mini. Barely have used this thing. I spent $100 for basically a paperweight. I don't regret it. It's a very cool paperweight. I'll spend $100 on this paperweight again. Sega's like, oh, you would? Alright, let's do a Sega Genesis Mini 2. I'm like, I don't know. It's got powerful mail. Ooh, that's a new Falcon fail. I'll get that. It doesn't have Japanese. Not Jap. It doesn't have English localization. I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm not joking. If the Sega Genesis Mini 2 had English localization for powerful mail, I would have bought it. I would have bought a $100 paperweight specifically for that one game, and I would not regret it. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. Nice job, Sega. Sega, I don't care. I'll pay $400 for a Dreamcast Mini. Please give it to me! So, I actually forgot what I was talking about halfway during that recording. Whoops. So, as I said, this is a video of me talking about growing up on, being a Sega fanboy, not having anyone else to talk to about it, because, as I stated, unless you're, in your early 40s, most people didn't really give a damn about Sega. I mean, I say it's more broader now. I mean, people in their 30s give a damn about Sega now, since Sega's actually very good at making games these days. But, back then, when, they were the laughingstock of video game industry, it's yeah, no one really cared, and when you brought up Sega, there was, a laughingstock. So when all the other kids were, talking about Nintendo and Sony, I just sat there, couldn't talk to these children! Oh well. So, yeah, I just struggled to relate to a lot of different people. Sure, I could talk about Nintendo, but, I didn't really have a respect for Nintendo at the time. I actually very much had a self-hatred not self-hatred, a hatred of Nintendo. That's not self-hatred. I'm not Nintendo. Or am I? Yeah, at the time I really did not like Nintendo simply because I was in that whole, I'm a Sega fan, I must hate Nintendo mindset. I'm not like that anymore, of course. I have a healthy respect for Nintendo and what they've done for the industry. I still hate their business practices, and I think everyone else does these days. Like, seriously, $80 for Mario Kart? Yeah, like, because they were just like, yeah, Nintendo Sega, Mario 65 was the best 3D platformer. None of you ever heard about that PlayStation title. What PlayStation title? I forgot its name, but you know it exists. And it's like, yeah. And I mean, Microsoft's a laughingstock. I did kind of like Sony at the time, but like, I wasn't really allowed to play a lot of those games when I was younger. And by the time I was allowed, I really didn't care, because like, those games are tough. And again, I suck at video games. Why do you think I play most RPGs on easy mode? I play video games because I wanted to do stupid crap, not to be challenged. So, I don't know where I'm going with this. Point is, it was not easy, but I got through it. If I got through it, I got over my Sega obsession. Now I'm obsessed with Neon Falcon. Now just to learn how to talk to people.